Welcome to Sectional Title with STBB. I'm Rivka Hoyi. As cities and towns have developed, so too has the need increased for more accommodation, housing, office space, and certainly industrial units as well. As a result, in 1971, the first Sectional Titles Act was passed, and since then, there's been improvement on that, and we've now got the Sectional Titles Act of 1986, which is still in effect today. In terms of sectional title legislation, it's now possible to own a piece of a building as opposed to the whole building, and you don't own the entire piece of land, but you co-own that land with many other owners who've also bought either a piece of the land, a piece of the building, or one building or of many buildings on that land. That's sectional title in a nutshell. So no longer do you have to just own the one building and the land thereon, you can now own a piece of it. In sectional title, you hear terms like section, unit, flat, apartment. They're used interchangeably and all means exactly the same thing, and I'll be referring to section because that's the legal definition of that piece of a building that you're actually buying in sectional title. So you're sitting with a piece of vacant land, or you're sitting with a property with a house on it, for example, and you want to convert that into sectional title. How do you go about that? The first part of converting land into a sectional title scheme is certainly a planning phase. So you need to involve your architect or your draftsperson and your land surveyor, and of course your STBB conveyancer in that process. Site plans are drafted, and then your more formal sectional title plans are drafted, and on those are depicted where your buildings are going to be, where your recreational areas, your driveways, your parking, all the landscaping. That's on the sectional title plan, and that gets lodged with the Surveyor General for approval. Once the Surveyor General approves the sectional title plan, that's handed to us as your conveyancers, and we then draft the application to open the sectional title register together with a batch of other required documents. This batch of documents, together with the approved sectional title plan, is lodged by us with the Registrar of Deeds at the Deeds Office. As soon as the Deeds Office opens the sectional title register and registers your sectional plans, you can then go off and happily transfer ownership of a piece of a building or one building of many buildings on your piece of land. There are three components in sectional title that's very, very important for you to understand what that is and also understand what your rights and obligations are in respect of each of those. These are sections, common property, and exclusive use areas. As I said, a section can be referred to as a unit or a flat or an apartment. What it means is that you're taking transfer of ownership of a section of a building or a building among many buildings on one piece of land. You're not solely owning the land, but you're co-owning that piece of land or the entire land with the other registered owners who are also buying a section or a piece of that building or flat. When you buy in sectional title, you're not only owning your section, you're also automatically owning a part of and a share in the common property. The common property is everything outside of your section. So if you're buying a flat, it's the lobby, it's the lift, it's the garden and the driveway and the swimming pool area, the boundary wall and the electric fence on that boundary wall. All of that makes up the common property. The common property is co-owned by strangers who each own their own section or flat in the complex, and that common property has to be maintained, secured, and insured by all the owners together. So we're going to chat about all of those rights and obligations along with common property. Part of the common property are also exclusive use areas. Exclusive use areas are designated for the exclusive use by one section owner at a time. That would be your parking bays, your garages. You're not going to be sharing a storeroom with somebody else, for example. The exclusive use areas are divided into two categories, and it's important to understand them because they have very different consequences. Formal exclusive use areas are registered by title deed, and an individual section owner can own one. They're also depicted on the sectional plans. Informal exclusive use areas, however, are always owned by the body corporate, which is all the registered owners in the scheme that make up a body corporate. It's not individually owned by one section owner. So a formal exclusive use area can be owned by you by title deed. You can then sell it, you can bond it, and you could let it as well, depending on the rules of the particular scheme's rules. The informal exclusive use areas, however, can't be sold by you because you don't individually own it, nor can you bond it. The exclusive use areas that are formal and the informal exclusive use areas can look exactly the same physically. You won't know which are informal and which are formal unless you look at the sectional plans. And then, of course, you have to check with your respective body corporate for its rules to see what the scenario is as to the exclusive use areas. And that's sectional title description in a nutshell. Thanks so much for listening. And for more information, visit stbb.co.za.